Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Campea, and this is a companion video. What is a companion video? Well, I'm glad that you asked. See, every day on the John Campea Show, we save some time to take live questions. However, we don't always have time to get to all the live questions that you guys sent in, but I want to make sure you guys know that if you send in that live question, it will get addressed in a video, and that's why we bring them all over here and address them in companion videos. So, without any further ado, let's get right to it and start getting caught up on these questions. The first one that we're going to get caught up on comes to us from Patrick Conway, who writes, people are already speculating Daredevil in Black Widow. Yeah, we talked about that on the John Campea Show a few days ago, that, you know, with Daredevil being canceled at Netflix, we know they're not just bringing, that show's done now. I know there's some people that want to believe that, you know, they're just going to restart the show on Disney Plus, but that's not going to happen. That Disney show, that Netflix show is done. I don't think we're seeing Charlie Cox as Daredevil anymore, but I do think the MCU is going to bring in a new incarnation of the Daredevil character. We're going to get a brand new Daredevil, and it's going to be a totally new incarnation. They've never really had the Netflix shows and the MCU really connected in any real practical way anyway. And a lot of people are suggesting that maybe a good place to introduce this Daredevil character would be in a Black Widow movie. Now, the only reason I don't think they might do that is because they were already planning on a Black Widow movie, and I don't think you change your whole movie around, oh, this character's available now, let's change our whole idea for the movie just to force and shoehorn in this character. So I hope they don't do that. But one way or another, we're going to get the Daredevil character in the MCU at some point. Mike Thompson writes, I just saw someone post a picture of peas and mayonnaise pizza. Oh my God. Pineapple lovers and haters must unite to defeat the true evil there. Yeah, I'm one of these guys. I do not like pineapple on pizza. I know the world is divided down the middle. You know, pineapple on pizza people and pineapple not on pizza people. And I am a mayonnaise guy. I love mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise. I put it on all my sandwiches. I put it on, sometimes I'll get a little side of it to dip my French fries in. I'll put it on my burgers. I'll put it on my hot dogs. I love mayo. Mayo on pizza? Oh, God, no. No, Mike, no. All right, what's next here? Grandmaster writes, hey, John, it should interest you that there are special keyboards and mouse, they should be mice, for Ps4. Just connect them to your Ps4 and you're good to go. Yeah, I've heard about that. I will probably set that up and give it a shot. I will probably, most likely, set that up and give it a shot because I'm a keyboard and mouse guy. But I've had a lot of people, Grandmaster, writing in to let me know, and I picked up a Ps4 Pro recently. I mean, I've already had a couple of Nintendo Switches, and I've got an Xbox One, but I mean, I haven't bought a console in a long time, and I haven't touched my Xbox One in a long time, and I'm trying to get adjusted to using a controller again, and I'm just such a keyboard and mouse guy. It's just crazy. All right, Fleming Peterson writes, the truth? You can't handle the truth. Jack said that line in, what's that name he did with Tom Cruise when they're in the military? But Few Good Men. One of probably top 10 greatest all-time single lines in movie history. Like, everybody knows that line, even if you haven't seen the movie. The truth? You can't handle the truth. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Oh my God, it's so good. And it's a really good movie. Often overlooked. You know, a lot of people don't talk about A Few Good Men anymore. It's a really damn good movie. Anyway, Juan Andres Vasquez Contreras writes, have you seen Roma by Alfonso Cuarón? Thoughts? No, I haven't watched it yet. I believe, actually, you know what? I could be wrong about this. I think it launches today on Netflix. If not today, then sometime within the next week it launches. I am very curious to see it. I've heard nothing but spectacular things about it, which shouldn't surprise us because it's Alfonso Cuarón. So, no, haven't seen it yet, but as soon as I do, I will let you guys know. All right. Desmond Wolf writes, you watched Wilder versus Fury yesterday. There's a rocky moment when Fury gets the F knocked out and got up like The Undertaker and won the rest of the round. Fight of the decade. I did not watch the fight because I was watching something else. But I did watch all the highlights, and I saw that knockdown. How that dude got up is crazy. Now, I'm also hearing from a lot of people that Fury won that fight. Even though he's the one who got knocked down twice, I heard he pretty much won almost everything else in the fight and that he should have won. But it ended up being a split decision. So everybody's now going to clamor and wait for Wilder versus Fury 2. Too bad they're not mixed martial artists, then it would be even better. Sahil writes, have you read the Kingkiller Chronicles series? Nope, I'm not. Now, do you mean like Stephen King? Do you mean Kingkiller Chronicles, or is it Stephen King's Killer Chronicles? I'm not sure about either, but either way, Sahil, unfortunately, no, I have not read them. Let me know, like, what it is, specify. Then maybe even email me a link to where I might be able to find those, because I'd be curious. All right, Rami J. Royster writes, what are you trying to put me out of business? These are some of the most disgusting humans I've ever seen. All right, get them out and get them clean. Chop, chop. Paul Giamatti. All right, get them out. Most disgusting human beings. No, just humans. The most disgusting humans. Oh, Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes. That's what that's. Oh, God, I haven't seen that in forever. Rami J. Royster writes, is there a soul in that? Tim Roth, also from Planet of the Apes. By the way, Tim Roth, I don't know how this guy didn't become a bigger star. He was great in that Hulk movie where he's the Abomination. He had his own show about where he was the human lie detector. And I thought he was great in this. And he was great in, the Liam Neeson Scottish one? Why can't I remember that name? But anyway, I've always thought he'd become a much bigger star, and he never did. And I don't know why. I really like Tim Roth. I like him a lot. I'm Upset writes, what's worse, Year One or Gulliver's Travels? Oh, both with Jack Black. I'll say this. Gulliver's Travels was bad, but it wasn't offensively bad. Like, there are some things that are so bad, it just offends you that this thing even exists. And Gulliver's Travels was not that. Year One was dreadful. So I will say, and many people may have different opinions on this, I'm upset, but I will say that Year One is even worse than Gulliver's Travels. So why would you do that to me and make me even think about either one of those films? All right, Chris Warden writes, I can see Captain Marvel doing over 800 million worldwide easily, but what do I know? I didn't see Venom making that much or Solo tanking either. I mean, I don't know. 800. Look, a lot of people are going to go see Captain Marvel. It's going to make a lot of money. 800? I don't know. That seems high. Now, again, remember, there is a huge difference between Captain Marvel and Black Panther. Like, because whenever I get in these discussions about how good can Captain Marvel do, a lot of people who think it's going to do great will point to the Black Panther, right? And say, well, Black Panther, an underrepresented group for these comic book movies, that was the Black Panther. He wasn't a known property. Then he had his first standalone, and boom, 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 $1.3 billion, right? Captain Marvel can do almost the same thing. But the big difference, and you cannot understate this, or you cannot overstate this, I mean. Black Panther had a key, big, important role in Captain America Civil War to introduce him to everybody and make him look like a complete badass in that movie before Black Panther ever came out. You're dreaming if you think Black Panther does $1.3 billion if it wasn't for that appearance in Captain America Civil War. Black Panther still would have done great. It still would have done great. But the fact that the audience was now salivating to see this guy in his own standalone movie because of Captain America Civil War has a lot to do with how high it got. Captain Marvel has no such advantage. Captain Marvel is coming in completely cold, much like Doctor Strange did. Doctor Strange was great, but Doctor Strange never got to 800 million. I think got to 600 something. Hold a second. Let me look up Doctor Strange box office. Doctor Strange made 677 million. Came in cold. Had they introduced him in one of the other movies first and then did a Doctor Strange movie, I bet it would have made more. A lot more. But they didn't. He came in at that. So I'm thinking, and 666 million is huge money. That's great. I'm thinking Captain Marvel will be right around there. $600 to $700 million. And that's a big hit that makes them tons of money. Everybody's going to be happy. I just don't see it getting to 800, 900, 1 billion is like some people are. I just don't think it has that. So I think it'll come in the Doctor Strange, Ant-Man kind of range. That's where I think it's going to come in. And they should be happy with that. I think that'll be great. AFK 2010 writes, Bohemian Rhapsody has now passed Straight Outta Compton in the USA and has made over $540 million worldwide. How successful is this for a $50 million budget? Well, this is kind of a redundant question. It's obviously incredibly successful. I mean, that's kind of both a redundant and rhetorical kind of question, right? How big of a success is a $550 million movie on a $50 million budget? It's massive. It's huge. I mean, look, Bryan Singer delivered Fox a winner. He gave them a big, big winner. And I like Bohemian Rhapsody a hell of a lot. I think it was a really solid movie. I don't think it's in my top 10 of the year, but it's a really, really solid movie. I enjoyed it greatly. Rami Malek was incredible in it. And yeah, I had a really good time with it. I think most people did too. It's a huge win. Obviously, yeah, you make almost 11 times your budget, it doesn't matter. If you're a $2 million movie and you make $22 million, huge hit. Huge win. 50 million? Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge, huge success. Absolutely. Spencer Main writes, Russos are at Game Awards Avengers Project. Well, yeah, the Game Awards happened the other night. I'll be honest with you, I was not terribly impressed with the Game Awards because I watched for about 2.5 hours. Here's the thing. I said on the John Campea Show, one of the things in principle that they do at the Game Awards that I really like is the fact that they don't just give out the awards for the best games of the year. They also use the show to highlight and feature and show new trailers and whatever for things coming in the upcoming year. And I said on the John Campea Show, the Oscars should do that. Don't just be honoring the year that was, also make it a show that is celebrating and looking forward to the year to come. And drop world premiere trailers, or even if there's movies that had trailers already, drop new trailers for them. They really celebrate the year to come. However, watching the Game Awards, they might as well called it the commercial show with a couple of awards to hand out. Because I was watching for 2.5 hours before I finally tuned out. And I think they gave out like 6 awards. That's almost, not quite, but it's almost 1 award every half hour. Like, at least the Oscars, which we complain is a kind of a slow show, at least the Oscars, they'll do like 2 awards in between every commercial break, right? But that was literally 2.5 hours they'd given out like 6 awards. It was award, 20 minutes of commercials. Award, 20 minutes of commercials. Quick award, 20 minutes of commercials. And it's like, I dig the previews and I dig the commercials, but it should be balanced out because at that point now you're just using the audience so you can sell the ad space and make money. So, I don't know. I mean, at least make it about 50-50. 50% is presenting the awards. 50% is highlighting the new games coming. Maybe do it that, or even 60-40. Or 40-60. 40% giving out the awards and honoring the winners, and then 60% highlighting the new games. But I'm telling you, it was like 20-80. 20% handing out awards, and then 80% of it was just... So it wasn't the Game Awards, it was the commercial show. It was totally the commercial show with a few awards peppered in. I don't want the Oscars to do that. I'd like to see the Oscars take a little bit of that idea, celebrating the year that was and the year to come, but have more balance to it. Because it was nothing but commercial. Like, yay, okay, so we gave out 1 award. Now we'll tell you about 8 other awards that we're not going to present. This one, this one, this one, this one, this. Now let's have 8 commercials. Boom, 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 all the new video games coming up. It's like, give a little bit more balance in that. Anyway, the Russos, that was highly publicized. The Russos were presenters. Some people thought there may have been a possibility that they were actually going to debut the Avengers trailer at the Game Awards. They probably should have. They released it like 9 hours later, so whatever. But a lot of people thought they'd show a teaser to the trailer. They didn't. I think they should have. Some people thought they were going to introduce an upcoming Avengers game, which they also didn't do. So it ended up being much ado about nothing. Anyway, TK writes, The Captain Marvel film didn't do it for me. Well, you didn't see the Captain Marvel film yet, so I'm going to assume you mean the trailer. The Captain Marvel trailer didn't do it for me. That one shot where she lines up in front of the Kree reminds me of Green Lantern. Hope it turns out well, though. Well, hey, look, either you believe in Kevin Feige or you don't. Either you believe that Kevin Feige, who is the architect and the mastermind behind the Avengers movies, behind all the other great MCU movies, behind Avengers Infinity War, behind the upcoming Avengers 4, Avengers Endgame, either you believe that he knows what he's doing or you believe he suddenly forgot how to make a movie as a producer. And that might happen, but until we see that movie, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. A slow-mo of a bunch of people walking forward is not Green Lantern. That's 1,000 movies. We've seen that in 1,000 different things. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Dimsum05 writes, this super chat was sent when the show started. Good to know. Thanks, Dimsum. ZOMG Ruler writes, look up Siskel and Ebert's review of North. It's savage. All right, I will do that, ZOMG Ruler. Thanks for pointing. I used to love Siskel and Ebert, man. I miss those guys. Peter Tennant writes, that Captain Marvel trailer would have been a great first trailer, but a bad second trailer. I disagree. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. If you probably saw my review of it the other day, I thought it was a good trailer, but not great. It needed to be great, but it was good. But I'll contend this. The Avengers Endgame trailer dropped this morning. All right. It wasn't all that great. They showed a couple of, everybody's sad. Okay, yeah, I get it. And then an Ant-Man scene at the end. There really wasn't anything to it. It was good. I enjoyed watching it. I'm already super stoked for the movie. Like, I can't get any more excited for the movie than I already am. But as a trailer, it was good for a first trailer, but it really wasn't all that great. But because it's for Avengers 4, everybody's like, oh, this trailer's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, no, it's not. It's them reminding us of what happened in the last movie, which we already knew. Thanos succeeded. He wiped out half the life in the universe. Yeah, I know. I knew that. I knew that already. Tony's floating in space says some really nice lines about when I drift off, I'll be dreaming of you. That was a great line. The end is a part of the journey. Great line. Loved that. The whole line about, it's going to work, Steve. I know. Because if it doesn't, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, great line. Seeing Bullseye, or Hawkeye, I should say, was really good. The little Ant-Man scene at the end to juxtapose against the heaviness of the rest of it was really good. But it was ultimately, it really didn't show us anything. It didn't tell us anything we didn't already know. So I liked it. For a first trailer, perfectly acceptable. And great, it's Avengers 4. But because it's Avengers 4, everybody's losing their mind. It's amazing. I contend this. All these people who are saying they didn't really like the Captain Marvel trailer that much, if that had been the Avengers 4 trailer done the exact same way, just swap out a couple of the characters, swap in a couple of the Avengers characters, and adjust accordingly, but the end credit scene was Avengers 4, not Captain Marvel, people would be freaking out and saying it's the best thing ever. It's just that one's Captain Marvel, a character we've never seen yet, and one's Avengers. Right? But anyway, and sure enough, I said on the John Campea show today when I was talking with Robert, I repeated like 8 times, I like this trailer. It's good. I like it. It's just not blowing me away. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing great. And I even said on the show this morning, I said, now please don't misquote me. Don't go around saying John doesn't like the Avengers trailer. I do like it. It's good. Thumbs up from me, but it's not spectacular. Like, let's not pretend that it's something that's not just because it has the Avengers 4 label on it. And sure enough, all over Twitter today, all I'm seeing is, why did Campea hate the Avengers 4 trailer? Why does Campea hate the Avengers 4 trailer? And it's like, I just give up on the human race sometimes. Anyway, let's see here. Dim Sum writes, but John, all novels are money grab. Well, no, there's a big difference, Dim Sum, because I say, it frustrates me when I hear people say, oh, that movie's just a money grab. Newsflash, everybody. Every movie ever made in Hollywood is a money grab. This is a business. Movies get made for the purpose of making money. That's why they make them. Actors are actors, so they don't have to have real jobs, and they can get paid huge, exorbitant paychecks. Of course, acting's a real job. I'm just saying, it's not like digging a ditch for 12 hours in the sun. I can't do what they do. So my point is this. It is a business. So to say that movie's just a money grab is redundant. They're all money grabs. Every studio greenlights movies, and every producer greenlights a movie, and every financer agrees to finance a movie because they believe it might be able to make them money. That's what it is. So guess what, folks? Avengers Endgame is a money grab. Of course it is. Of course it is. A Quiet Place, my favorite film of the year, is a money grab. Black Klansman was a money grab. They're all money grabs because it is a business. They make these things to make money and to collect paychecks, and that's what it's about. And that's nothing wrong with that. There's not. Now, the difference between that, though, dim sum, and books is that other than time and effort, which are huge things, other than time and effort, writing a book does not take a huge investment. You don't need to spend $5 million to make a book, to write a book. So, no, not all novels are money grab. I mean, you write it. A lot of people, like I wrote mine just out of the belief that, I wanted to write a book because everybody talks about writing a book, so I wanted to do it. I knew it wouldn't sell well. I knew it wouldn't make me $1 million. I knew all of that, but I did it because I wanted to do it. And I think a lot of writers do that. But whenever you get into an endeavor that takes $1 million investment, or takes a $10 million investment, or takes a $100 million investment, you better believe it's for a cash grab. People in company don't put up that kind of money just for fun. They put it up hoping to get a return on their investment. So anyway, a little bit of a difference. Kadir Hicks writes, "Hey, 90 Kids here. What do you think about a live action / animated Animaniacs reboot in theaters? I thought I heard they're doing an Animaniacs relaunch. Some television network's going to try. Here's the thing. I might be completely off about this. I used to love the Animaniacs. I love the Animaniacs. But I don't know that enough people love them. And I think it's very cost prohibitive to do a live action animation hybrid movie of it. That would be very expensive. That would be really expensive to make. Plus, Animaniacs, to me, I mean, they're not made to be a 2-hour narrative. They're made to be short, quick, like 7-10-minute little segment vignettes, right? That's what they're designed to be. And that's when they're at their best. So, I don't know. I look, if they released an Animaniacs movie tomorrow, of course I'll be there. It's Animaniacs. But if I was a studio head, would I greenlight an Animaniacs live action animated hybrid? Nah, I probably would. I just don't think it could do well. Hopefully I'm wrong. All right, Dimsum05 writes, picture this, Black Friday, all movies on digital platforms, $1 each, TV seasons, $10 each, midnight to 1 a.m., my wallet would cry. Oh my God, I would just, 1 hour to do it. I would buy as many as how many times I could click, select, add to cart in 1 hour. I mean, your wallet wouldn't cry that much because if the movies are $1 each, you're pretty good. But, whoo, yeah, man, I'd be doing a lot of purchasing. I would be doing a lot of purchasing. You and me both, Dim Sum. All right, Jay Bling writes, Ron Burgundy interviews Deadpool. You're well. Boom. It's fun. We were talking on the show the other day. For those of you who don't know what Jay Bling is talking about, they announced that Will Ferrell, in character as Ron Burgundy from Anchorman, is going to be doing a new podcast, a Ron Burgundy podcast series. And Robert brought up on the show, wouldn't it be great if he was interviewing other, not real people, but movie fictitious characters? And we laughed about that a bit. But yes, Ron Burgundy interviewing Deadpool on that podcast, gold. I'd be there in a moment. Ryan Reynolds, you just got your next great idea. All right. Raymond Verrata writes, how did people react when Hugh Jackman said he was having a musical tour instead of Deadpool? At least we have our Captain Marvel and Avengers trailers, and apparently a Spider-Man trailer coming up here too. Yeah, look, they should have known that. Look, for those of you who don't remember, Hugh Jackman, they announced that Hugh Jackman this past week was going to be on Good Morning America, and he had a huge announcement to make. And of course, everybody in the film fan community, because we think everything revolves around the film community, whereas he's coming back as Wolverine. He's going to be Wolverine in an upcoming Deadpool movie, or he's going to cameo in 12 Days of Deadpool, or whatever. He's going to be... And it's like, it's possible, is what I said, but I think it's highly unlikely. It may not have anything to do with the movies at all. And I jokingly said it might be to do with the new Broadway show, even though I said it seems like too big of a deal to make over him doing a Broadway show, but that's exactly what it was. He ended up announcing he's doing a one-man Broadway show, singing some of the songs from Greatest Showman, Les Mis, and others, which is great. And by the way, I'm going to see if I can get tickets to that, because I'd love to see Hugh. I think Hugh Jackman is the single greatest entertainer in the world, but yes, some people were still hardcore convinced, even after I said that. No, John, you're wrong. I guarantee you he's announcing he's going to be Wolverine again. It's like, okay. And sure enough, he's just doing a one-man Broadway show. Steve Wynyard writes, I have seen a lot online about how wooden or emotionless Brie Larson was in the trailer. Thoughts? Well, the people are wrong. Look, there's a reason that characters... I mean, look, if they had done a solo... people love... Oh, what's his name? Who plays Winter Soldier? Sebastian Stan. People love Sebastian Stan as Bucky, as Winter Soldier. But if you had done a standalone movie when he was still kind of half zombied out and brainwashed and whatever, he would come across, though that trailer would come across a certain way. Robert and I both agree that we think a lot of the way she acts in the movie, that the character acts in the movie, is a result of the fact that she's been lobotomized and reprogrammed. We see that in the trailer. She as a human being has been basically electrically lobotomized and reprogrammed as an individual to the fact that she's a little droned out, right? And now she's starting to put together the pieces of who she is. So I think, look, to say Academy Award winner Brie Larson is idiotic. There's just no other way around it. It's idiotic to say that. She is a remarkable actress. And the fact of the matter is most comic book movie fans never saw Room and never saw some of the other movies that she just like gets Academy Award consideration for because she's so damn good. But if, and this is an if what Robert and I are suspecting, that the character is being called on to act that way because of what is going on with the character, then that means any actress you put in that role would have been required to act that same way. So that is what I suspect. So it does, even if you put Meryl Streep in there, the Streep monster, she would have played it exactly that way if that's what they're calling for the character at that point. I have a feeling, and I can't prove this, I have no insider information here. My suspicion is as the movie progresses and she starts to put back the pieces of her true identity, Carol Danvers, I think you're going to see more character in that individual. I think you're going to see more character coming out of Captain Marvel at that point, but not before. Until that happens, she's got to play it a certain way. And until I see the movie to prove me otherwise, which it very well may do, but until I see the movie, I think that's the most logical thing to assume. All these people who are just jumping down, she can't act. Oh my God. Oh my God. Really? Watch the movie first. Watch the movie first. And then we'll see. Then we'll see. And maybe it will. Like, hey, even the greatest actors in the world have maybe Steven Spielberg made a bad movie. He's the greatest filmmaker of all time. He had a bad day at the office with The Terminal. So yeah, everybody has a bad day. Maybe Captain Marvel is Brie Larson's bad day. I highly doubt it. And I think it's ridiculous to assume that. But who knows? Maybe that's the way it'll turn out. We'll find out pretty soon. So everybody just hold your breath until we get there. All right. Paul Baranek writes, Marvel trailers are just blurring together now. It even had that dumb audio cut bad joke at the very end. Like all the others, Marvel's feels stagnant now. Oh my God. Okay. I mean, look, Paul, it's all subjective. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Your feelings on it are no more and no less valid than mine. It's all how it strikes us. And if that's how it strikes you, nothing wrong with that. I will say that I totally I completely disagree with you. Completely disagree with you. Is there a certain pattern to the Marvel trailers? Yes, but there are patterns to trailers. It's a piece of marketing. Remember, trailers are commercials. They're marketing. They're meant to entice audiences to want to see their film. So they will follow a pattern more than a motion picture will. But to say that Marvel feels stagnant, really? You think Black Panther felt stagnant? You think Avengers Infinity War felt stagnant? Okay, if they did to you, but I just can't get on the same page with you. That's the thing. And again, your feelings on it are no less and no more valid than mine, but I just cannot get into that solar system with you because to me, nothing could be further from the truth from my perception. But hey, that's why all film is subjective, and that's what makes movies so fun to talk about. So thanks for sharing your thoughts on that, Paul. All right. Mike Noir writes, I'm a sweaty that has been waiting for them to make a movie about Shang-Chi. Bring it, Marvel, right now. Very excited about it. And, we talked on the John Campea show the other day about how I really fully believe that Shang-Chi is only even made possible because of the success of Black Panther. And the success of Black Panther, I think, is opening a lot of doors for a lot of movies that maybe at some point we would have said, they'll never do that. But now they are, which is really great and really exciting. I cannot wait to see what kind of direction they go with this. So you and me both, Mike. You loves it. But me, I've never enjoyed New York City. I've just never enjoyed it. So I love the people of New York. I have great friends who live in New York or used to live in New York, both. But yeah, it's just, never New York City's never been my thing, but that's just me. Sasuke Kuchia writes, have you seen the new Once Upon a Deadpool poster? Deadpool's dressed as Jesus/God, and the tagline is, you'll believe in miracles. No, I can say, you know what? I've never seen it. Let me look it up. Once upon maybe if I properly spelt once. Once upon a Deadpool, I should say. Let me see here. Where is it? Once upon a Deadpool, you'll believe in miracles. That's great. I do like that. That looks really good. And he's standing there doing the thumbs up. I dig that. That is some good marketing right there. Thanks for sharing that with me, man. All right. Kyle McCarroll writes, how could that be profitable for Frito-Lay? Oh, that's from Game Night. Such a good movie. That's a lot of chips you got there. Yeah, they had buy one, get 3 free. Buy one, get 3 free. How could that be profitable for Frito-Lay? If you haven't seen Game Night, guys, by all means, go watch Game Night. It's so good. Sasuke writes, new Godzilla trailer on the 9th. Yes, I keep hearing, every time I talk to Robert Meyer Burnett, actually, first thing he says, John, did you know there's a new Godzilla trailer coming? Yes, he's so excited for that. I'm excited for it too. That Comic-Con trailer they dropped was so good. So good. And I think you're going to see a lot more excitement for this Godzilla movie than the last one. Because I think they probably learned their lesson from the last one about not showing us nearly enough Godzilla. I think they're going to correct it with this one. The first trailer certainly suggested that, and I think the second trailer is going to give us that too. Corey Skiba writes, what about Remy High in Spider-Man Far From Home being revealed to be Shang-Chi in the future film? No, why? It's because he's Asian? That must mean he's Shang-Chi? I don't think so. No, I don't think that at all. Mike Holtackers writes, John, I love you and your work, but get your ass over to Europe so we can meet as well. Well, listen, Mike, first of all, Europe is a very big place. Just because I come to Europe doesn't mean everybody can meet me. Second, I have never been to Europe. Never been to Europe. I'm Italian and I've never been to Italy. My wife is not Italian, but she's been to Italy like 3 times. But I have never been to Italy. Part of the thing is I hate flying. I fly when I need to, but I hate flying. Because I have a big fear of heights. I get on planes all the time, but I do not know if I could handle like a 10-hour flight. Like one of the reasons, the main reason I don't go home more often to visit my family is because I'm very busy. But the other reason I could probably squeeze in some time to take another 1 or 2 visits home per year, I just hate the flight. Flying 5 to 6 hours is horrible for me. I do not like it. It is one of my weird quirk things, but yeah, I don't like it, but I do it. But yeah, I just Just don't like the idea of it. So, but I would love to visit Europe sometime. If I do, I will let you guys know, and we'll do a meet and greet of some sorts while I'm out there. Tristan Larson writes, over under 70%, we get a Game of Thrones trailer before 2019. Well, it was funny because I think just yesterday, this question probably came a few days ago. I think just yesterday they dropped a trailer. Although it was sort of a trailer. Like it was all animated stuff of, ice and fire. Get it? Game of Thrones, a game of ice and fire. It was ice and fire. It didn't really show anything from it. So maybe we won't truly call that a trailer. It was more like a little promotional spot that wasn't really a trailer. 70% is a high number. And we've only got like 3.5 weeks to go until 2019. I'll take the under. 70 is a high number, man, so I will take the under on that. I think there's a chance we'll get one before 2019, but 70 is just too high of a number. I'm going to take the under on that. All right, where else are we at here? We are at Ali Hamond, who writes, hi, John and Robert. Obviously, Robert was on the show with me the other day. Just curious, over under 15%, we could see a Mephisto in Avengers 4. Can you imagine the opening scene being similar to the one from the Infinity Gauntlet? Thanks, guys. P.S. Robert, your enthusiasm and optimism is contagious. I will take the under 15%. I already think they've got a hell of a lot, enough to do in Avengers 4. It's going to be about the snap. It's going to be about undoing what Thanos did. And it's going to be about Thanos as well. I think introducing a whole nother problem into that, I just don't see it. So, look, that happening in another Avengers movie somewhere down the line, totally could see that happening. In Avengers 4, I just don't know that there's room for it. There seems to be a very clear narrative that you need to follow here, and I don't know if it would include that. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I kind of have my doubts. Ed Matthews writes, do you think Fury will lose his eye to a Skrull or the cat? You know what? I'm going to say the unpopular thing. I don't think we see him lose the eye in this movie. I think he'll lose an eye later. But I don't think we're going to see him lose an eye in this particular movie. I think it'll come later. I know everybody is guessing that we see Fury lose the eye in this movie, and I totally see why, and probably that's what's going to happen. But I've just got a sneaking suspicion we will not see him lose the eye in this movie. I think we're going to constantly be expecting, he's like, oh, is this where he loses the eye? And then it doesn't happen. Then he gets into some more trouble, like, oh, is this where he loses the eye? And then he doesn't. I have a feeling we're going to get to the end of the movie and he doesn't lose his eye. It's going to happen later. We're going to go, So I don't know. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out. Let's see. Ed Matthews writes, do you think there's any place for Shang-Chi to tie into Doctor Strange too? It's possible, but it all depends. I have a feeling they had their Doctor Strange 2 story all kind of laid out. Even if they don't have a full screenplay yet, I think they had their story laid out a long time ago. Do you now change it all up just to work in Shang-Chi? I don't know. It doesn't seem like the right movie to do it. Could they? Absolutely. Absolutely could. They could fit him into a Black Widow movie. That one would actually make more sense to me than Doctor Strange. But it could be Doctor Strange. It could be Black Panther 2, for heaven's sakes. I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities. I will go unlikely, but certainly a possibility. Certainly a possibility. Dark Blue XG writes, as much hate as Howard the Duck movie gets, I still love it and still believe it has the scariest Marvel villain on film to date with Dark Overlord. Man, it's been so long since I've watched Howard the Duck. So long since I've watched Howard the Duck. I can't even say that it's not good. I remember not liking it. Like, I remember never liking it. But I can't even sit here and definitively tell you why I don't like it because it's been so long since I've watched it. I can barely remember anything about it except for Howard and the girl making out at the end. I mean, that kind of stains its way into my brain. But you know what? Who cares if everybody else hates a Dark Blue? If it's special to you and you like it, particularly with the villain, then good on you. $1 million for you. Spencer Main writes, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Again, a great line in a movie that gave you a little bit of sympathy for an unsympathetic character in Infinity War. It's a great line. Jubalara, I'm probably butchering that, writes, do you think they will introduce a recast version of Iron Fist in Shang-Chi movie as a way to introduce him to the MCU? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be in any rush to bring Iron Fist. Look, Iron Fist was so poorly received. I don't think we'll never see Iron Fist again. A new version of Iron Fist. I don't think never. But I think they might want to let that marinate for a bit. Like, again, the Iron Fist character in the Netflix series was so poorly received that I just don't think there's any reason to rush in. Not to mention, Iron Fist is a little too similar of a character to Shang-Chi. When you look at the origins and all that kind of stuff, guys who were sheltered away their entire lives doing nothing but training kung fu, one by his father, one by Kung Lun. But it seems like it's a little bit too similar to put the two of them in the same movie. And again, I could be dead wrong, but they could announce a brand new Iron Fist movie with a new cast and everything tomorrow. But I just have a feeling Disney's going to want to let that one sit on the shelf for a little while. Let the bad taste of the Netflix series get out of people's mouths. Give it a couple years, and then maybe they'll try it. So, no, I don't think they'll do it with this Shang-Chi. Again, I'm not going to say never because we've seen stranger things happen. But it just doesn't seem like a good. It doesn't seem like a good strategy to me. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to wait. Final question today comes to us from Charlie Zicari, who writes, for the love of Jesus, keep Robert Meyer Burnett on the John Campea Show. Again, and as much as I can afford to, guys. I mean, the fact is it costs money. I have other guys I have to pay who, depend on me for their living. And I just can't keep adding people because I just don't have the money for it. Not to mention, with me taking the new role at Power Media in the stream, I'm making less money right now than I was before. So I'm actually operating in a deficit right now. So I will have Robert on as much as I can. I'll have him on as much as I can. And that's the best I can do. But it's not through lack of wanting him on more. I definitely want him on more. And I'm going to give him to you guys as much as I can afford to. But it's just a matter of how much can I afford to. That's really the bottom line. All right, guys. That will do it for this installment of the companion videos. Hey guys, we got more questions that we got to get caught up on that we didn't have to get around to. Particularly, we're all caught up except for the questions that came in on this morning's Friday show when the Avengers 4 trailer dropped. Got a bunch of questions got to get through on those. We will get to those this weekend, so make sure you come back and join us for that. That'll do it for me for now, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this installment of the companion video. Really appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate you guys just being a part of the movie fan community with me as well. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's John Campea, and until my next video, bye-bye.